pictures are probably kind of small, but if you guys want to have a look at it afterward, you can come up and have a look. As she said, I teach in a special education classroom in Knott County at Beaver Creek Elementary, and this is actually my first year in an FMD classroom or MSD classroom. I'm enjoying it a lot, but I have a lot to learn along with my students. I got a class of 4 students at the beginning of this year, and since then, actually since I wrote my grant, I have gotten 1 new student. So I have 4 students who are FMD and 1 student with autism, and we started out the year with 1 iPad. And all my students love the iPad. And when their previous teacher, she had a couple of iPads that were her personal iPads that she took along with her when she went to a new school. And that's all I heard about at the beginning of the school year was, when are we getting more iPads? We're going to whoop her for taking her iPads. They were just so upset that they had lost those. And we do have computers, but they, for whatever reason, they just enjoy that iPad in their hands and the more hands-on approach. The students that I have with disabilities, they have a lot of sensory needs, and I think the iPad, just for whatever reason, stimulates them more so than working on a computer. So my area did focus on the fact that my students all have an individualized education plan. So there's a lot of times when it's just me in the room. I have 1 teacher's aide, and I have her for about half a day. So a lot of times it's just me in the room with 3 to 5 students at a time who all have very high individualized needs. So the iPad is a good way that I can keep them close to me and keep them on task and working, but kind of have them doing different individualized activities. Because it's very hard, when I'm trying to progress monitor with 1 student, and then I have another student who is running around the room trying to find something to do. They don't want to sit down at the computer. It's a lot easier for me to say, well, here, get on iExcel on the computer, and they can get on there, and they're much more engaged with their iPad. Speaking of iExcel, some of the programs that I use for this are iExcel. I don't know if any of you guys have used that, but it has language arts and math. My students really like the math portion. It has a lot of visuals. They do a lot of the counting skills on there, and there's pictures, and it's all in color. You can get on your teacher account, and there are reports that show you what skills they've mastered on iExcel, what skills they still need to master. And it goes up to very advanced skills, but there are enough basic skills on there that my students really enjoy using it. And it is a paid program, but you can get a 30-day free trial. And Miss Alicia Lewis has secured our school a 90-day trial. So right now my students are very happy with that. Or maybe they're not, but I am. And they also like reading eggs. It's, like I said, my students, they are mostly going toward that late elementary, middle school age, but they still have very basic reading skills. And reading eggs is really good for them. It talks them through the letters of the alphabet, sounds, just some really basic reading comprehension that also has reports that I can pull and see, which letters are they struggling with. And it's just lots of good data can come from these programs. And these programs can also be used on a computer, but like I said, my students really enjoy the iPad. Let's see. Epic is another program they use. It has audiobooks. It is free, I believe, and they love to get on there and listen to audiobooks, even though they are not readers. They really enjoy reading independently with their iPad. It shows them the words. It kind of goes through the pictures of the book, and it's very engaging. One of the most useful things for me with the iPads, which I have the pictures of up here, is sight word practice. My students love these games. Like this one here is a picture of a student. We had just progress monitored her on sight words, and then she got on the sight word app and found all of the words she was struggling with and wrote them in her notebook. So it really enforced that skill for her, and she said, well, I'm going to take this list home and study it. And I really think that the next time I progress monitor her on her sight words, that I will see results from that. This app is another sight word app where the students actually take their finger and they write the words, and then they can push a button and record themselves saying the word. And I did not bring a list of these apps, but they're all free. And very engaging for the students to work on their sight words. So like I said, my students, they all have moderate to severe disabilities. Working independently can be difficult for them. They find it frustrating to get on the computer. Some of them have fine motor skills. The mouse, they can't get it to go where they want. They're not great typers with the keyboard. For some reason, they seem to do better with the touchpad on the iPad. So the iPads for them really helps them to be more independent with their technology. It helps them hone their technology skills, their social skills. One of the other things we do with our iPads is we play a lot of Kahoot games. I don't know if you guys use Kahoot, but you kind of make your own quizzes, and they're very interactive, so each student can get an iPad, and I make the quizzes based on alternate assessment standards or just simple basic things that skills we've been working on, and they kind of they can use that and work together on their answers. Sometimes I put them in teams, sometimes they work individually, and it's real-time answers. You know, they pick a color, it shows who was right and who was wrong, and they really enjoy that interactive thing. You know, they enjoy the competition. And when I just had one iPad, we were like scurrying. We were like, who has a cell phone? You know, we want to play Kahoot, and some of them would have to get on the computers, and then they would say, well, I missed that question because I had my back turned. So having the iPads has made these interactive group lessons much more accessible for all of us. And that's something that they really enjoy to reinforce their skills. And I think that's pretty much what I have to say about their iPad usage. Does anybody have any questions? All right, thank you.
That concludes this session of presentations.